I'm just going to make this video off the dome. I've got one or two notes here that I took when I was doing this, but yeah, I'm just going to do this unfiltered, man. I just finished CD3 of the advanced Michel course, and honestly, the first words out of my mouth as soon as the CD came to an end, the little voice says, "End of CD3." The first words out of my mouth were just thank fuck for that. It was really fucking grueling. What am I going to say about this? First of all, this course shouldn't be called the advanced course. It's just a continuation of the foundation course. I don't know why they split them up. I think they're probably trying to make some like extra money. Like, oh, we'll have the foundation and the advanced. Once you've done this one, you progress this one. Then you've got to buy two courses. We get more of your fucking money. I imagine it was the publishing company that did that. I can't imagine that he approved that himself. Yeah, it should. Honestly, what I found with the advanced course, having almost finished it, it should have been Foundation Advanced, part of the same thing, and it should be called Complete Spanish. They shouldn't have split them up. I don't know why the fuck they did that. So what I'm starting to observe with the Michel method is as the CDs go along, he just goes into more and more granular concepts. They're not more advanced concepts. They're just slightly more granular. That's all. Slightly more nuanced. So when I say I found it difficult and I was like, thank fuck that's over, it's not that it was necessarily more difficult, but I guess there's nothing wrong with the Michel teaching method because it's the same method. I found the foundation course to be a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it and I learned a lot. And it was the same teaching method he used in the foundation is what he's using in the advanced. The only reason I found this difficult and grueling today is because I guess if there's a concept that I don't understand, I can't ask him a question. I'm listening to a CD, so if he says something I don't understand, I can't clarify it with him. When the people on the CD don't understand something, they'll say, Michel, I don't understand that. And he'll explain it to them and they'll be like, okay, I get it now. Whereas if I don't get something, I don't get to ask him a question. I just have to fucking deal with the fact that I don't understand it. So that's when it starts to become frustrating. I then have to start rewinding the tapes and finding out the point, finding out him explaining that concept. I have to rewind and find the bit where he explained it and then go over it again. Which isn't the worst thing in the world, but it's also just like you're starting to move away from the effortless learning of the Michel Thomas method. So obviously Michel Thomas had a somewhat effortless methodology, and when you play around with the tapes, you do find it is somewhat effortless learning. But when you get to the point where you don't understand something, it becomes somewhat of an effort. Not because there's anything wrong with methodology, but because there's not a teacher here to explain it to me. So I have to go back and fuck around and figure things out. So yeah, my takeaways from today are it's exactly the same stuff that's being taught as the foundational course. What I mean by that is it's the same teaching method. He's not teaching anything that's more complicated than in the foundation course. He's just continuing it. So the way I would explain it is this. In the foundation course, he teaches the most generalized concepts. So for example, he teaches you how to say verbs in the present tense. He teaches you how to conjugate verbs. So like querer is to want. To conjugate that to I want, quiero. To say to buy is comprar. To make that I bought, or sorry, I buy is compro. Okay, so he's teaching you big concepts like that would apply to literally thousands and thousands of verbs across the board. And then as the CDs go along, it's almost like a big funnel. So you've got like the most generalized concepts at the top, the ones that are applicable to thousands and thousands of words. And as the CDs go along, he gets less and less and less granular. So like, for example, he taught us a word in this CD, which was fue, which is like I went or I was. And it has its own set of rules which are completely different to any other verb. This is not the same as any other verb. It stands alone. So whereas the concept of, I don't know, conjugating a verb, that would apply to literally thousands and thousands and thousands of verbs. This concept, fue, just applies to one word. if you don't speak any Spanish and you don't know much about the Michel Method, what I just said is going to mean nothing to you. But I'm just explaining sort of what's going on in my mind right now. Still learning a lot, but the first half of the CD3 was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Then he started to explain a few things which I just didn't understand. I got really pissed off because I then had to go back and repeat them, and by the end I was just exhausted and I couldn't be fucked anymore. Anyway, I'm just going to crack into a little bit of footage of me practicing. Most people won't care to see that, but for anyone that's sort of really interested in the Michel Method and wants to know how effective it is and wants to see somebody who's actually in the process of using it, some footage will be on the ends there. You can have a little look. Right, that's me signing off. Catch you guys soon.
I wouldn't buy it.
I wouldn't buy it. No lo compría. Yeah, no lo compría.
No lo compraría.
Right. No lo compraría.
Compraría.
Or you may throw in the yo. Yo no lo compraría. No lo compraría. They wouldn't buy it.
No lo comprarían.
No lo comprarían.
You don't step out of the riverbed. The word is always ria, ria, ria.
How do you show the they?
Then do it. Say it again.
No lo compraría.
For they?
Rian.
No.
Rian.
Right. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Comprarían.
Comprarían. It's not rian. It's not ria. It's always ria, ria. That's what I call the riverbed, is the ria. Mm-hmm. Yes. So rian, or you wouldn't buy it. Roberto would be.
No lo comprarías. Rías. No lo comprarías.
No lo comprarías.
No lo comprarías. Yes. How would you say? We wouldn't buy it.
No lo compraríem. Comprarímos. No lo comprarímos.
Be careful.
No lo compraríamos.
I said, be careful. Do not step out of the riverbed.
Another go, please. No lo compraríamos.
Right. You remain in the ria, yes. And then you add the N or the S of the mos. Riamos. No lo compraríamos. Again, those endings are universal, and will and would hang on the same R of the infinitive. There are some contractions in the stem, but will never affect the endings for will and would. Never. Like the go-go's, yes? But you're sticking a D. Like, I will leave would be.
I will leave. Saldré. Saldré.
Saldré. There's only one push. Saldré, right. Saldré, yes. You won't leave?
You won't leave. Saldrá. No saldrá. Saldrá. No saldrá.
No saldrá. No saldrá. You wouldn't leave.
No saldrí. saldría. No saldría.
No saldría. Right. No saldría. We won't leave.
Will not leave. No saldríamos. No saldríamos.
No saldríamos.
We wouldn't leave.
What does it mean in English if you say we won't leave?
We will not leave.
We will not leave.
Would not leave.
Yes. Okay.
No saldremos.
No saldremos, that's right. Now give me, we would not leave and remain in the
Yeah.
riverbeds.
No saldríamos.
Right. No saldríamos. We wouldn't leave. I would put it here. I would put it here.
Lo pone.
I would put it here. Ponería. Lo ponería aquí.
Ría aquí.
Well, what does I put? Pong.
Oh, yes.
Fuck. Pondría.
Pongo.
Pongo. You know what's happened to those go-go's? Stick in,
Di.
so.
Lo pondría
Right.
aquí.
Lo pondría is a word put. Yes. I won't put it here.
I will not put it here. No lo pondré aquí. No lo pondré aquí.
No lo pondría aquí.
That is, I wouldn't.
No.
I won't put it.
Lo pondré.
No lo pondré
Right.
aquí.
No lo pondré aquí. Yes. We won't put it here.
We will put it here. Pondremos. Lo pondremos aquí.
Lo pondremos aquí.
Lo pondremos aquí. We wouldn't put it here.
No lo pondríamos aquí.
No lo pondremos aquí.
That is, we will not put the word. We would not put it here.
No lo pondríamos aquí.
Right. No lo pondríamos aquí. He wouldn't come with us.